Howdy there, Silver Mongoose here, back again with another video. This is a continuation of my Wii Collection or Wii Library videos, and I just wanted to do a separate one for the games that I've barely touched, so I don't have much of an opinion on, but I'm still going to share them with you and just show you what I have and what I'd like to play in the future. And I might still introduce you to some new games. First up is Big Brain Academy Wii Degree. So this is kind of part of those like touch generation games where they make you do little puzzles and math and pick shapes and stuff, and it's supposed to like improve your brain. I haven't played this obviously, but I've heard it's fun in multiplayer. Battalion Wars 2. Wow, what a terrible logo. BW Wii, Battalion Wii. It's got the two there, two stripes, just no good. But this is, I guess, an action, like a third-person kind of real-time tactics game, I think? It's a sequel to the game on the GameCube, which I don't think got a lot of good publicity back in the day. Mario Strikers Charged. I've played this a little bit, like back when it came out, and I wasn't a huge fan, but I ended up getting the Nintendo Selects version because it was pretty cheap. There are other sports games, like there's a baseball game, and I really didn't enjoy the baseball game, so it's in my get rid of pile. But I'm hoping that this one is better. The Core Gang, Outvasion from Inner Earth. Now this is a weird game in the sense that I think it was supposed to be maybe a GameCube game, and then an Xbox game, then an Xbox 360 game, and then a Wii game, something like that. Or maybe it's a Dreamcast game, who knows. I just know it's an old game that kind of came out of nowhere. And they're like, yeah, we finished the game, so we're going to publish it now, like, even though it's taken like 10 years to make. It is a 3D platformer. I haven't heard too much about it. I've heard, like, I guess generally positive reviews, but some kind of mixed reviews. Ivy the Kiwi? This is again another game from Prope, so from the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog. It is a super cutesy puzzle game where you use the Wiimote to grow vines, and then Ivy the Kiwi like walks on the vines. So I've heard good things. There's also a DS version, I believe. GoldenEye 007. This was supposed to be like a reimagining of the first N64 game, but it uses like the current Bond at the time, whose name I don't remember, Daniel Craig, I think. So it's not just like a remake; it's kind of like a reimagining, and I've heard mixed things. Rayman Oranges is a platformer with Rayman, who's a classic mascot from back in the day, up to 4 people. When I bought this game, I didn't have a big TV, and it was really hard to see what was going on, so I decided I'll put it aside and I'll play it later, but I've heard good things about it. Raving Rabbids Party Collection. So, like everyone back in the day, I'd occasionally go over to someone's house and we'd play a couple rounds of Raving Rabbids or any of the Rabbids games. I'm not a huge fan. I think they're annoying. They're basically just like Minions, except before Minions. But some of the games are fun. It has over 175 games. I got like this collection that has, I believe, these 3 games here. So I don't like Rabbids enough to own these 3 separately, but together, sure. But I'd like to play them more at some point. Pandora's Tower. This was one of the 3 games that people were trying to get published here. The other one being Xenoblades and The Last Story. So this one is still sealed. I haven't played it yet. I've heard mixed things. I don't have Xenoblades because I don't like that game. I played it for a bit and I just wasn't a fan. NBA Jam. It is, I guess they just took like the Super Nintendo and Genesis games and basically just kind of remade them and gave them like big cartoony heads and stuff. Haven't played it too much, but it's NBA Jam. Mercury Meltdown Revolutions. This is one of those like marble-y games. Except instead of a marble, you are a blob of mercury, and you use Wii motion controls to move stuff around. I gotta say, I kind of like this cover a lot. Like, it's really simple. Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. Klonoa. This is I think a remake of the PS1 game. And when they made this, they were actually quite honest, where they said, if this game sells well, we'll make more Klonoa games. And I don't think it sold well. But this is the only Klonoa game that I have, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I should stop saying that. I'm obviously looking forward to playing all these. Muramasa, the Demon Blade. I believe this has been ported to other systems, but at the time it was a gorgeous Wii exclusive. All these nice set pieces, and it's like a hack and slash, side-scrolling hack and slash. So you go as one of these two characters and, slay enemies as you go from left to right, that sort of thing. Mushroom Men, The Spore Wars. This one I bought just because I remember way back in the day, Pete Dorr talked about this game a lot and said he was a big fan. So I ended up getting it. It is a platform, from what I remember. Mad World, an extremely stylized game on the Wii, so everything is black and white except I think for blood. So this was kind of going off of the like the Sin City movies, and yeah, it was for a while. It was like when Sega was like starting to put out like these more mature games on the Wii. This was one of them that people were like, "Ooh, look at this mature game on the Wii. It's not just for babies." Aragorn's Quest. So this is a super cartoony version of Lord of the Rings where you play as Aragorn. And at the time I wasn't too interested in it, but now, as someone who looks fondly back at Lord of the Rings, I'm looking forward to playing that to kind of go through those movies in a separate way, or in a different way. I have some PAL games here. The Diabolic, the Original Sin. This is like the German version, but you can still play in English. This is based on like a graphic novel character or something. I don't know. It looked interesting, kind of like how what was it called? 13 on the GameCube was kind of comic booky. Another Code R. So this is a sequel to, I believe it's called Another Code, or no, something else in North America, but in PAL it was called Another Code. There's a DS version where you play as this young woman, and we never got the sequel on the Wii. So yeah, it's kind of like a mystery novel game. And then another one we didn't get here, Captain Morgaine and the Golden Turtle. So this is I think there was a few of these on the Wii actually, but I ended up getting this because it's a point-and-click adventure game and was exclusive to, I believe, PAL regions, but maybe it also came out in Japan. Rubik's World. I don't know what this game's about. It was 99 cents. And I thought, you know what? If I play it for an hour and I get fun out of it, it was worth the 99 cents. Sam & Max Season 2, Beyond Time and Space. This is a point-and-click adventure games from Telltale. Back when Telltale was just getting into making console games, they ported the Sam & Max games there. There's a first one as well. I've heard they both have like some frame rate issues, but I really enjoy playing point-and-click adventure games on the Wii, even if they're a little unoptimized, I should say. There's also the Back to the Future game from Telltale on the Wii, which I would like to have. Da Blob and Da Blob 2. So, I don't know what's different about Da Blob 2, but Da Blob is basically, you're this little blob and you have to paint things by jumping onto them. Fling Smash, this came with, usually was packaged with the Wii Motion Plus. So this was a game that they tried to show that the Wii Motion Plus was good by having really specific flinging. So you'd hold down on the button and then fling a certain way, and then this little guy would bounce around and hit things. Elebits, this was, if it wasn't launch, it was very close to launch. I don't know what to do in this game. Little electric guys hiding in refrigerators and stuff. I don't know. Domino Rally. This is a great cover too. I love that cover. I guess it's kind of similar to No One Can Stop Mr. Domino, but you're basically this guy and you're running on dominoes, and it's hard to explain what it is. Drawn to Life, the next chapter. So this is one of these games where you could like draw things in the game. You can like make characters, and I feel like there were a few of these on DS or 3DS, maybe even another Wii one. And it's just one of these games where you can draw stuff, so I thought that was interesting. Metroid Other M. Also gets a really bad rap. I haven't played it, but looking at gameplay, like it looks really good. Metroid Prime Trilogy, one of the few Wii games I bought like at launch. This was another game where they were very explicit about the fact that they were not going to make many copies. They had like one run. It comes like in a nice steel book. It's got Metroid Prime 1 and 2 from the GameCube with Metroid Prime 3 Wii controls. So it's all the 3 Metroid Prime games, all of them with Wii motion controls, and I guess widescreen as well. And I'm sure there's other things in here like art and whatever else they put in these sorts of things. I haven't played these because I still haven't gone through Metroid 2 and Super Metroid because I like to play stuff in order, but I'll get there eventually. Spyborgs is a... what is it? It is like a 3D brawler, I think. Very cartoony by Capcom, where you play these like over-the-top kind of cheesy characters. Tornado Outbreak. You are a little guy that can control tornadoes, I think. There's a PS3 version of this that's like spiked up in price, and I don't know why. Wario Land Shake It. This is one that like every time I pick it up, I look at the back and I'm like, ugh. I want to play this game. It's so pretty. I don't know if it's actually hand-drawn, but it definitely looks that way. It's a very gorgeous game in the Wario Land series. Castle of Shikigami 3, which is another game that I saw in bargain bins for years, and it is like a bullet hell shooter. The Conduit and the Conduit 2. I believe the Conduit and the Conduit 2 is kind of like a Red Steel 2 situation, where this has really nothing to do with this one. But they are, first-person shooters that were kind of hyped up as, oh, look how mature it is from Sega. But it also had online multiplayer. I've heard they are mediocre at best. Down to the last 3 here. Little King Story. This is another Xseed published game. It is essentially like Pikmin, except you are a king and use different characters. I've heard it's very difficult, so, but another great cover. Sin and Punishment, Star Successor. This is again one of those sequels like Knights that just came out of nowhere on the Wii. So this is a sequel to I believe, a Japan exclusive N64 game. So it is I guess an on-rail shooter. By Nintendo, just came out of absolutely nowhere. Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop. This is a port, I think, of the 360 game. It uses the Resident Evil 4 engine. A lot of people don't like this version because it has like fewer zombies than in the other ones, the other versions. But it does have, I think, better controls, and it does have, I think, a time mechanic that makes it easier to play the game. I'm not exactly sure. Again, I haven't played it. So those are some of the Wii games that I own and I haven't played yet. I hope that I open your eyes to some interesting stuff you might want to check out. The Wii has lots of good stuff on it. I think there's probably still another 10 or 20 games that I really want on the Wii that I just haven't gotten yet. This was my favorite system of that generation. It's the system that I have the most games for, in part because it was easy to collect for, but also just because even if a game was like I said, like a B- or something, it still had interesting games. Companies took risks and made really weird little things, and I think that those things are worth playing, just because they're interesting, even though they're not AAA titles that are trying to be all cinematic like the PS3 and the Xbox 360 was. These games felt more like games to me, like it appealed to the retro gamer in me, I suppose. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this entire series, this very long series of videos where I talk about my Wii games. And yeah, let me know what kinds of games are your favorite on the Wii, or what kinds you're looking for, or let me know if you learned something new or you hated this video. Just post a comment below, and I read all of them and I respond to most of them. So I hope you enjoyed this. This has been Silver Mongoose Videos, and remember, classic gaming never gets old.